Megan.
Hey, Devon.
I
How are
have
you
one.
today?
Oh, good. I just want to sing too.
Oh,
Because after all, you're my Joseph
this
Wall.
is the only Joseph Wall content I am accepting at this time. I am elsewise done.
I hope everyone has heard the fantastic rendition of Oasis Wonderwall in dedication to Joseph Wall's incredible
Well,
gameplay
it's all they have left
in round two.
because they have nothing else to do but sing that song. There will
I
be no
know.
games to watch.
I know. We had fun with you and your fiance, aka my brother, and my husband and I at dinner last night at Detroit Golf Club watching
Yeah.
the last game seven, Florida versus Toronto. And I appreciate you all humoring me and allowing me to cheer for Joseph Wall simultaneously to cheering for a Panthers victory. It's a lot. That's a lot of emotion right there. I wanted him to do well. So glad he made it to game seven. So glad he was able to come in for Stolars and shine. But also very happy to see Florida advance.
Yeah. Let's just keep that going forever because it's great. And I am of course I'm thrilled that Carolina gets to move on. I'm excited to watch that Florida Carolina series and see where things go. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, when you say you want Florida, like you want it to continue, you don't mean you want Florida to continue to win.
No.
No, no,
No,
no.
I want Toronto to keep losing.
Okay, well, that was an important clarification for the listeners.
Yes. Sorry
Because I
everyone.
was like, wait a second, what happened to my friend? You were an evil clone. You were
No.
Carolina all
Oh,
the way.
no, Carolina all the way for sure. No question. Yeah,
Which,
definitely want to see Carolina win.
yeah. So are we finally reconnected now with the last four teams that we want the same two teams in the finals? I hope so.
I don't know.
Because on social media today, I highlighted it as if it was both of us, Dallas and Carolina. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are aligned again. So
Yes.
that's going to be really fun because you know I love Carolina, but I have Dallas winning in my bracket and you have Carolina winning. So I look at your face for those listeners, audio only. She gave me quite the stank face.
Well, I don't think it's any secret that Carolina's definitely my number two.
Yeah, for sure. And
So,
I love them too. I would be celebrating all day long should they win. Obviously we both everyone knows love Pyotr Kochetkov,
mm,
but you have made Andrei Svechnikov somebody that I personally adore now because of how sweet I saw him be when he skated over and took a picture with you like right before the first period. I'm like, this is a good man.
yeah, it's not
Um,
even it wasn't even about him and he still came over.
No,
The
the
sign was
sign
for
was
his brother.
literally, yeah. And he was like, that's so sweet. Well, probably
Very sweet of
honestly,
him.
the first time he's ever seen somebody make a sign for him about his brother. Tell your
I
brother I
hope.
said I. Um,
Maybe.
and
We'll never know for sure, but maybe.
we love Seth Jarvis and his
Oh
humor,
God.
and he's equally as talented as he is funny. Like
Mm-hmm.
what a great team. Aho has been incredible. I mean, what is not to love about the Canes? But I have a soft spot for Dallas because I think very much like the Canes, they are a team that together succeeds. Like these are not teams with like one or two superstars that are carrying everybody on their shoulders. Like these are teams that because of their dynamic, their lines, like to use a hockey style term, the style of what they've built, like they're better together. And I love rooting for teams like that where sorry Oilers, but it's not a McDavid Draisaitl show, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Edmonton has. I think you know they're not terrible.
No,
I feel like
they're
I just
definitely
mean
not
like with the
terrible.
balance. Like I feel like I feel like it is more than just them. I don't know why I feel that way, but
No,
they
you're
are
right.
very important.
You're right.
Um,
And people could argue, you know, Dallas, now that Robo's back and, you know, they have the
Miko.
Moose, Mikko Rantanen. There are superstars there too. Of course, Andrei Svechnikov is considered a superstar for the Canes. So I guess there's something to be said both for all of the
For
final
sure.
four teams. But man, I just love the dynamic, the way Dallas and the way Carolina lines one through four just all do their part. And it's it's anyone's game. When you get down to the final four teams for the Stanley Cup, like anything can happen. And it's so exciting.
I think it's really funny how some people have said that Carolina hockey is boring,
What?
and
Who said that?
it's been said,
It's a thing.
and that like they always do, they embrace that stuff. And I saw a T-shirt today that was "Keep Carolina hockey boring."
Love it.
I
I
thought that
love
was
it.
pretty
It's
great.
like what is it? Florida, who a few years ago they were like all six fans, and now it's like our six fans are doing great. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah, well, they're doing pretty well. So yeah, every team gets teased for something or the other. Except you know what, Detroit for not being in the playoffs as long as we have been. I still think people appreciate the wings and our
sure, but I
octopus
think we're just an
traditions.
afterthought at this point.
I know we're gonna change it, Megan. I have faith.
Okay,
Let's see what happens in the off
okay,
season.
mm-hmm,
All
okay,
right. Well, we hope everybody's having a blast staying up too late watching
mm-hmm,
all the playoffs because it's super fun, but it's going to be over soon. And then
yeah.
we'll just be starting our countdown
And
for next
then
season.
once it is over, the our little topic today, you can really have fun with, because we are going to dive into the hockey card breaks, and we also have a fantastic guest to talk about that who we'll introduce in a second. But do we want to talk about our hockey card collections at all and what we do?
Yes. What a beautiful segue, by the way. Man, you were on. Um, Hockey card collecting, we've only scratched the surface with thus far on the podcast. But it can become like an all encompassing hobby, or you can just casually, kind of more like I do, dabble from time to time. But it is so much fun. These cards are beautiful nowadays. These are not the hockey cards of our youth that you would buy for a buck. And, I don't even remember if they had like the stale piece of bubble gum or if that was just baseball cards. Anyway, they have come a real long way. These are little works of art, which we will talk about more. Megan, you got me into it.
It's all my
And
fault.
I am not mad about it. Like they are so fun to collect, and I think of them as like things to display when you need a little. Like you'd put a little 4x6 photo. Now I have in our hockey themed study quite a few areas where I have like rare cards set up that are just like I said, like little works of art. What are some of your favorites in your collection?
I have probably too many. Just like with the gear, I really collect a lot of both Svechnikovs. So I have
Mhm.
so many of those that are my favorite. I think I have one that was an autographed rookie card for Evgeny that he inscribed with a Go Wings. You know, they occasionally will add a little zhuzh on their autograph. And this one
That's
he had
cool.
written Go Wings. So it's pretty cute.
That's
There's
cool.
so many. Like
So is
we
that
could
like a one of one
no,
since he
he
wrote
he
Go
did to a
Wings?
few. Yeah, sometimes they just will do it to a few of them. It
Special.
was not a one of one. I love like the jersey patch cards. I
Hmm.
am lucky enough to have quite a few Svechnikov with a nice chunk of the winged wheel in the
Ooh.
card, which is really, really cool. Um, we did the Toronto Card Expo this year and had just so much fun going through cards and like anything you can think of, to the most expensive to people with boxes of cards for 10 cents that you could go through if you were looking for base to complete your set. Just fun things like
Wow.
that. And I definitely got a few things there. I think the one that I'm remembering the most off the top of my head was an Elmer Soderblom rookie with a piece of stick that he signed. So that was a really fun one
That's
that
cool.
I don't know if he wasn't on anybody's radar, but it was a great price. So that one came home with me. But yeah,
Nice.
found so many fun things. Like I could go on forever.
Your collection is far more further along, I should say, than mine. You have some incredible pieces, but for not collecting that long, I'm proud of some of my
Yeah.
pieces. I probably have a rather significant goalie card collection. I shockingly collect specifically goalies, and I have some interesting UD Canvas cards, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the second period with our subject matter expert. But they are the cards that are actually printed on canvas. And I have from my brother for my birthday the black and white Henrik Lundqvist canvas card that is so cool. It's just the picture of his back in the net. So you see the entire arena in front of him and the Jumbotron looking and just him as like this magnificent presence in the net. It's just so artistic, so well done. And then I'm proud to say I may have the largest Alex Lyon card collection. We'll have to
Mm,
see if somebody challenges me on that. I
that'd
am
be great.
only
Yeah, let us know.
missing. Yeah, please let us know. Also, so that I can connect with you and be best friends forever. No, no, I have all of his cards from Lehigh Valley Phantoms, Flyers, Checkers, Chicago Wolves, Carolina, Florida. He only had a sticker from Florida, which kind of makes me mad. But he recently, for the 24-25 season, did get some Red Wings cards. So I have almost all of those, but there's some new ones coming out. Did you know, Megan, that he's featured in the brand new Metal Universe that just dropped?
Well, that's exciting for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We
Yes.
love
So
metal.
yeah, metal's
That's a
cool.
good one.
And our the gentlemen in our lives really like the metal universe. Like
Hmm.
they've got like a cool sci-fi look to them, like maybe
Yeah,
a little
they
more
change it up
masculine.
every year.
Yeah. Yeah, but they have that general universe theme
Hmm.
versus like some of the I don't want to say like more feminine, but like the truly like the pink sparkles and the allure that we love, literally called allure. There's something for everybody. So if you've
Yeah.
never collected hockey cards, we hope that this episode will inspire you even just to pick up a little box and have some fun going through them. And then if you are a collector, please leave us a comment either wherever you're listening to the pod today or on our social media at Hockey Style Podcast on Instagram, because we just love connecting with other collectors to hear
Yeah.
what you're looking for, trade, just talk about why you like what you like, and, just create a community within a community.
Well, we teased this out in our last episode with this fantastic guest. So we are so excited to present today the second portion of our discussion with the fabulous Stacey Nutini. This is Puck Gal Card Breaks, and she is going to give us a great description of everything. She breaks cards every day. So you are truly going to get an expert point of view. And if you have never experienced a card break, she's going to break it all down for you, explain to you what happens, and also let you know where you can find her if you would like to jump into one of her fantastic card breaks, because we cannot recommend it enough. So we hope you enjoy this portion of our discussion with Miss Stacey.
I can't wait.
Yay!
Hi, Stacy. Welcome back to Hockey Style.
Hi,
So
ladies. How
excited
are
for
we?
this part. Yay.
The card
Good.
part.
Yes, we're so excited. So, if any of our listeners missed our first episode, which was episode number 2, where we invited Stacy on, we talked all about how she is an incredible voice for women in hockey, founder of Ladies of the NHL, uniter of passionate lady super fans all across the United States and Canada. And it was a ton of fun. So please check out episode 2 to hear all about Stacey's journey with Ladies of the NHL. But the second franchise she started warranted its own episode because there is just so much to it, and that is called Puck Gals. And many of you may be loyal card breakers. Many of you may never have heard the term card breakers, and that's okay because I was in your boat early on. And we'll kick off this segment, and I'll embarrass myself by saying when Megan and I first became friends, we would hang out, we would have fun. And I'd say, well, what are you doing later tonight after the game? And for a long time, she'd say, well, I'm going to do a card break. And I thought she was hopping in her little Jeep and driving over to Motor City Casino and doing something at the casino. I didn't know if she had like a little outfit and she was wheeling and dealing, or if this was like a blackjack situation. And I was so embarrassed to ask her for a while. And then finally I was like, well, we know each other enough now. We've had some cocktails. What the hell is a card break?
It is my form of gambling, if I'm being honest. This is how I gamble, is the hockey cards. Yes, for sure.
So, if we will, Stacey, just in case
I
there's
love
someone
story.
listening today who has no idea, like I did, what, and now I'm an addict, so I'll call myself out. Will you give us the 101 version
It's
of a card break?
Yes, it sounds so healthy to start it out by Megan saying that it's her gambling and you saying that you're an addict. You're like, we're going to tell you guys today all about your newest gambling addiction. Get ready, buckle up because
Pretty
it's going to be
much, pretty
fun.
much.
So look, okay, so 3 years ago at this time, I honestly didn't even know what a card break was either. So,
Okay, I feel
you know,
better.
I'm not that like, yeah, I'm not like a seasoned veteran, but yet I am. So, okay, so a card break is where you purchase a spot, whether you have the opportunity to choose your team or just to buy your lucky number. Um, and once all of the spots are purchased by people, then a person like myself opens a grouping of boxes of Upper Deck hockey card products, but not just hockey. I mean, card breaking exists across all the sports, and it's really huge in football, baseball, and basketball. It's not as huge in hockey, actually, which is why
Mhm,
I figured it would be a fun niche to get started. And it's definitely not something that a lot of women do. Okay, it's a
mhm,
very male dominated hobby. But I sit down and I open up all those boxes. And if you have your Detroit Red Wings, you're going to get every single card that comes out of those boxes that has a player wearing a Red Wings uniform. So
mhm.
that's like the explaining it to a 5-year-old version, is just that you purchase, the cards get opened, you get mailed all the cards for your team, right? So yeah, I mean that's the ABCs of it, but obviously as you guys know, there's so much more
Yeah,
to the
so much more.
production and the collecting and what happens with the cards afterward. But I'll hand it back to you because you probably have questions.
No, that was a perfect 101 overview that I should have just fessed up and said I needed early on. But no, that's really helpful. And you do card breaks over Facebook Live,
I do,
correct?
yeah,
Yes.
I do.
So
We have
you
our
can,
own group.
yes, and that group is called Puck Gals. Tell
Yeah.
us about how Puck Gals came to be.
So our full group name is Puck Gal Card Breaks, just so that it makes it easier for people to search later. So
Okay.
on Facebook, Puck Gal Card Breaks. It came to be because a friend of ours was opening a hockey. I'm sorry, he was opening a sports card shop here in Vegas at Town Square. And prior to him opening that shop, he had been doing card breaks of other sports that were not hockey out of his home. And so he had been a friend of ours for a while, and he knew that I was very immersed in all of these ladies' hockey groups. And he said, you know what, you should, this is something maybe you could try for your hockey ladies. They might like it. And I said, okay, like, how would I even get started with something like this? So he just showed me. Like, I just went to their shop. They have studios set up there where they break cards all day long for every single sport across a zillion different platforms. So Facebook is just one way to open cards. That's how we do it. But there's like eBay Live, Fanatics, Loop. I can't even think of all the platforms. There's just tons of them where people open cards.
Hmm.
So when he suggested you should do this for your ladies, I thought, you know what, that actually is such a cool idea because just taking my own self as an example, I love collecting things having to do with my team, like cards aside. Let's say I never touched a hockey card in my life. I love collecting pucks, rally towels, bobbleheads. I mean, so many things. I have such a wide collection of BGK stuff, right? And so I was like, it would be fun to also collect cards for players that I like. And I knew that there were some fun, shiny looking ones lately. Like they aren't just boring pieces of cardboard, like you might picture that they're just like old style baseball cards. But you know, they make some very glitzy styles of cards. They make ones where players have autographed them that have pieces of their jerseys and other memorabilia inside of them. And so I was like, how cool would that be to teach women the hobby just the same way that I just learned it from my friend Mark, and essentially just offer that as something that we could do online. We could do hockey card breaks and see if this is something that takes off with ladies. And so we started September 2nd of 2022. So we're about 2.5 years right now. And we're almost at 1,500 women in that group
Wow.
participating in the hobby of collecting cards. So it's been a fast and furious growth. And I mean, it turned into something I never could have anticipated that it would. I thought we would do one every once in a while, like, oh, maybe a couple times a week we'll do a stream. Like I've already done 2 today, and I have another one when we're done recording this episode. So we're doing
Yes.
3 or 4 card breaks a day on our
Wow.
Facebook group on the live. So it's definitely grown and it's been fun.
Wow. Well, Megan, you got into card breaks before I did. What
Yes.
attracted you to card breaking?
I mean, I feel like it's a very similar response. It's just another connection to the team. It's fun to pick guys, and I want to get all of this player. And my favorite, Evgeny Svechnikov, he was, going to be, he was a, you know, marquee rookie, if you will, when he was starting, and then it didn't work out. And that's an easy little connection. That's very easy to get a hold of his stuff, and it all just kind of snowballs. And now, you get a different team that you might not normally in a card break, and you might find a guy that you find interesting from that. So it
Mhm.
just kind of it expands and expands and expands.
And when Stacey, you were talking about the shiny cards, the pieces of the jerseys, all I knew was the cards I had growing up that you would buy that were just pieces of cardboard. Like they really weren't attractive. Why would women like us who, appreciate the finer things in life have any interest in
Right.
these cardboard? So I would, as you were talking, I'm like looking over my shoulder at two hockey cards staring me in the face that I know you have thousands that you could pull from right now. But for anybody who is not listening to just audio, who's watching on YouTube, I just wanted to show like an example. So this is Henrik Lundqvist, who I had to grab because
Oh,
Stacey and I share a mutual love of Hank.
that's
And
a
you can
great
see
card.
like it's such a beautiful card. It has his handwritten autograph on it, a piece of his game worn jersey swatch in the red, white, and blue from the
Love
Rangers.
this.
Like that's one of my favorites. And then, talking about things to collect, like this is Linus Olmark when he was with Boston Bruins at the All-Star game, and it's a net cord that they actually clipped from the game and put in this limited edition card. So we are talking beautiful things, ladies who are listening, or gents, or people of all genders. You are welcome. If you enjoy collecting, Stacey has a place for you at Puck Gal Card Breaks.
Yeah.
You
So our
have two
ladies one, yeah,
types.
we
You
we
have the
we
Puck
opened
Gal
another
Card
group
Breaks
just
for
so
women.
yeah. We have puck out card breaks for the ladies, and then we have puck out. We changed the name of that group, and I always stumble over the name. Puck Gal Hockey Card Breaks Family is the name of our group that is
Family.
open to men
Okay.
and women. That has about 600 people in it. So that
Okay.
one is not quite as active as the ladies group, but we're growing it, and it will be. So if you have a special guy in your life who likes to collect cards with you, I mean, a lot of spouses love to do that group together and be in
Yes.
breaks together. As you know, because you did your birthday break with your hubby and your
That
friend.
was a that
Yeah,
was literally how I celebrated my birthday,
I
was
love it.
a card break with Stacey and Megan's significant other and my husband. The four of us all join, and ladies from and gents from, all over. And it was like the most fun birthday ever.
Yeah,
Just hanging
right.
out with you all and cocktailing and opening cards virtually. It was so much fun.
Right. And
And
it
I
is
do want
fun,
to
and
say,
honestly it's like one of those at home activities, you know what I mean? Like you don't even have to leave the comfort of your home, but you still get the interaction with other people, and that's so cool because like in the chat you're typing with other people and I'm reading your
Mhm.
comments and talking back to you, so it's very interactive. It is definitely
Mhm.
not boring. We have made it a very X-rated time at times in the ladies version of the group. That's why we had to start a separate family group, because ladies
Yeah.
card group got a little out of control. But like
yeah,
in the best way possible. Like it's hilarious and it's just a super fun interactive experience.
I do want to share too, to encourage you to experience the Puck Gal card break things. Um, we don't just whip through cards. Like you're gonna get to see the cards. You're gonna hear about the player. There might be a fun little story or a fact or something. It's just so much more engaging than your average card break where people are just throwing the cards looking for the fancier cards or the inserts, if you will. Like it's much more engaging and entertaining than your average card break, I think, for sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
It's
on
kind
that note, Stacey, can you tell us? Megan mentioned inserts. So you've got your base cards, your special collectible inserts. People hear terms like hobby boxes, blaster boxes. Upper Deck now has like, I don't even know, 20, 30 different products
yeah.
available. So tell us, super high level, some of the differences. What are your favorites? What are you excited about this season?
So, if you're just getting into cards or if you're collecting them with a child, then sometimes like retail and blaster boxes are your best bet. Basically, they're just scaled down versions of boxes that are less expensive. Okay, in
Okay.
simplest terms. Okay, so blaster box is just going to give you like a very small sampling of like 5 or 6 packs. Fun for the kids, fun for the family. You're still going to pull, like every time you're opening trading cards, you're getting the base cards, 7 or 8 of them in a pack in what's called an insert, which we call the banger or the special card. And that's like the more collectible card. Those are the ones that the hits that everybody is trying to find. If you buy hobby boxes, they're definitely more high end on the price scale, and therefore they are also a little bit more high end on the inserts. You're going to have more of them. You're going to have autographs, the jersey pieces, the more fancy stuff like we talked about earlier. So retail product, you can still get really good cards out of. I do highly recommend if you're either on a budget or you're just getting started and you're not really sure where to begin your hockey card collection. Retail and blaster is fantastic. You're going to find them at your local card shops. You're going to find them at Walmart and Target in a lot of locations, or at online Walmart and Target. No matter where you live, you can always just order them on their websites, or Dave and Adam's card shop online. So you can buy cards from a variety of sources. And then if you're getting to be a more serious collector, then you might want to hop into the hobbies. There's more of a thrill. There's, the adrenaline rush of hitting something really big. We pulled a Ovechkin auto the other day, which is pertinent to this time
Nice.
period right now. A brand
shit.
new Upper Deck product came out last Wednesday called SPX. And we
Mhm.
pulled a OV autograph that they had only made 10 of. It was a 10 of 10 Ovechkin autograph, which is so huge right now with the time that we're in, obviously, with him having just broken the goal record. So for me, like favorites, you ask me favorites, it's so hard. I
Yes.
love so many cards. I just love opening boxes of cards. And what's super funny is I don't even get to keep any of these. I'm opening
Yeah.
them and mailing them off to you guys, but I
know.
still just love the thrill of unveiling them. It's so much fun for me. It
Mhm.
doesn't feel like work. It's still just a hobby for me to run the breaks, even though it's part of my job.
Yeah.
But I love clear cut just because I love the fact that you're going to open that and it's just going to be one player's autograph. Like it's $100
Mhm.
box of cards and it's got one autograph, and you're just taking that gamble
Mhm.
of whether you hit somebody huge like Connor Bedard or Connor McDavid or Ovi, or if you get a guy and you're like, who the hell's that? Because either they're an up and
Yeah.
comer or they're maybe just a less popular player. Like
Yeah.
that's
A
just
guy who plays hockey.
right, that one guy
They
who
gave him
plays
a
for that
jersey.
one team. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I love Allure just because the cards are very glitzy and shiny.
Mhm.
Stature is a really good product. Premiere is probably my new favorite. It kind of slid right up into the top of my ranks this
Yeah.
year because they came out, they were behind. Upper Deck had still been kind of behind from I don't know their reasons necessarily. I don't want to speak to why Upper Deck was behind on boxes, but obviously a theory was still catching up after COVID and supply shortages.
Mhm.
But so they finally caught up on a few boxes that were missing. And this year, 22-23 Premiere and 23-24 Premiere both came out within 3 months of each other. And were both just absolutely beautiful boxes of cards. And so that they have definitely won over my heart. One of the coolest cards we pulled the other day was a only 5 made Wyatt Johnston, Dallas Stars, definitely a hot player for them. It was a piece of
Mhm.
his skate lace embedded inside the card.
Cool.
So it was like a skate lace embed, 5 cards made. We pulled a 3 of 5. And those are just so exciting for the fans because that was on a pick your
Mhm.
team break where somebody who loves the Dallas Stars had them and she was ecstatic. And Wyatt Johnston is her daughter's favorite. And it's just fun to see people get so excited about adding these new treasures to their collection, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I do open a lot of cards personally for me too. I'm not gonna lie. I love opening boxes of cards, but the majority of what I open is for fans online, and I just really enjoy that.
It is
What was
very
the
fun.
first card when you were breaking, when you were first starting out, that made you say, "Oh, holy moly, this is legit"?
Wow, that's such a good question because there have been so many.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if it was even from when I was first. Well, I do remember the first time we pulled an Ovechkin auto. I was very, oh my god. Same with Sidney
Yeah.
Crosby, just because those are your guys who are like, you're not pulling their autographs that common. I know a good one. Connor McDavid. I can actually now
Oh,
now that I'm
sure.
zeroing in on it, I can think of the first moment that was like, holy crap. So August of 23, right before we hit our 1 year mark, we opened a box of Black Diamond and we pulled out a Connor McDavid gemography, one of one that has his autograph and like an embedded piece of diamond inside. only one ever
And
made.
listeners, you did not hear that incorrectly. There are hockey cards with diamonds
inside. Right.
When
So
I learned this, I was like, yeah, I've been missing out.
okay, little bit mind blown there. So
So much more
gemology,
fun than just a puck.
right, exactly. It's just very unique. And then you pull one of one card. You're the only person on this earth who has that card. It's so special, right?
Yeah.
And it was a Connor McDavid. Value of that card is roughly about $25,000 at the time that we pulled it. It's probably worth more now. I mean, he won a Conn Smythe Trophy last year and has obviously continued to just elevate throughout his career. That was the first really huge one. And sorry, it took me a beat to get to that. I was thinking Ovi and Crosby, and then I was suddenly like, bam, it was that McDavid.
Yep.
But like recently we pulled what is called a pink lemonade allure card of Connor Bedard out of 5 autographed, or rookie Connor Bedard out of 5 auto. So that's a huge, probably around a $20,000 card as well. It's just, it's fun to hit ones that have immense value. For me, I'm just happy anytime I pull any Golden Knights card. And like,
yeah.
and I'm not picky. I just love them. I like to collect. I still like my personal collection is still to this day Rick Nash and Jody Shelley from Columbus Blue Jackets days, or any of their cards. Like I will also take Sharks Jody Shelley because he went there after, and Rangers Rick Nash. Like, so the two of them. Marc-Andre Fleury of any capacity. Jonathan Marchessault of any capacity, any team he's ever played for, since he's my favorite, and then any and all Vegas Golden Knights. So that's kind of my PC. And I probably have a few rare cards beyond that, but for the most part, I try to stick to those parameters because card collecting can become a thing. I mean, you guys know you'll end up with so many cards, so many teams. So like you just have to learn how to sell some of your cards on eBay or trade them with other group members. And that's kind of the beauty of the community that we run as well, is that everybody is very open to trading and like making other members happy, and they know like, oh, this person in our group loves Kirill Kaprizov. Like, and anytime they hit a Kirill Kaprizov, they're sending it right to her, and it's so nice to see, because it's like Kirill Kaprizov cards are very valuable. He's a top player in the league, but someone will just in a heartbeat send it off to another member, knowing it will make them happy, knowing that also probably sometime in the future someone will give them a card that makes them happy. So we have a lot of that going on, which is
you're not exaggerating at all. The chat that you run, okay, if you're doing the family version, you're going to see a Zamboni on Stacey's desk, the Famboni, as a gentle reminder that it's rated PG, maybe PG-13, depending on how late the card break is. Everything is on the table if it's the ladies group. So depending on the number of cocktails consumed or whatever, and the time of night, you may get banged instead of a banger by like, or soderblommed, or all the fucked. And then the chat gets really pretty wild. But my favorite part is, as much as we joke around about it, everybody is so kind and compassionate and understanding of your favorites, and there's little overlap. I mean, the Crosbys of the world are the Crosbys and the McDavids and the Bedards, but otherwise, anytime an Alex Lyon has appeared, which is rare, but when it does, you won't believe, I get text messages now like, Devon, quick, log into Facebook, somebody pulled an Alex line, I'm sure they'll give it to you. It's this group of, just like your ladies of the NHL, like we were talking about in your last episode. You've somehow managed to attract all the hockey super fans who also have the kindest hearts, and that says so much about you.
Oh, thank you. But true. Our groups are just full of the kindest hearted people, like 100%. And I think that's one of the things really that just keeps me going every day with all of it, because there's a lot, there's a lot of wheels in motion for all these groups to run and to do all of these things that we do for every single team in the NHL. But the one thing that is like the constant motivator is the kindness.
Yeah. And ladies from all walks of life. I think about, some of the retirees who are home card breaking with us, or just signing in just to join in chat. And then, 20 something in Dallas who's like way cooler and younger than us, but she's still hanging out, joking. It's like women representative of every phase of life, every corner of the US and Canada, who are just united by their love of hockey collecting.
True. Very true.
Thank you to Megan for getting me introduced to this wild world.
Yeah.
And you didn't even have to go to a casino.
I know. Hopefully I can create a habit for everybody.
A much less smoky environment, comfier chairs, and like
comfort of your own home.
You can do it in your pajamas with your favorite drink and snacks in hand with your dog right next to you or your cat, whichever. You know, it's a
We're
lifestyle
dog people.
comfort, right? So am I. Okay,
Yes.
your dog, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it really is ideal, and it's funny. It makes me feel socialized in a lot of situations where I'm otherwise kind of a house hermit, always here just working on group stuff. You know, in a home office for 12 to 14 hours a day. It's like, well, what do you do for socialization? Well, I go to a hockey game every once in a while, but mostly my answer would be I'm on stream every night, and that's my socialization. I'm talking to women for 5 or 6 hours a night about hockey. Like, that's the dream. There's no better job than that. What could I do that's more fun than that? The answer
And
is nothing.
you found a way to make it your career, which is just you nailed it.
You find something you love that you want to do every day, and that is your career path. That's your job.
Well, and speaking of, you actually have more breaks to do tonight. So as much as we would love to talk to you all night, we probably have to let you do that. The other ladies want a piece of Stacey too. So Megan, you had a couple fun questions for Stacey about like cards that she might wish to come across. I'll let you ask the fun ones since you came up with them.
Oh goodness. Let me see. I was just enjoying the chat.
Well, some of like the hypothetical.
So yeah, I guess if you could create a custom hockey card featuring a player or even just a moment in hockey, what would be your dream to just create?
I laugh only because I think of what the ladies in the card group would like me to say here. Can I answer my own answer?
Multiple answers.
Yes. Actually, I'd like to hear both.
If I were answering on my own behalf, like honestly, they actually already have the cards that I think are the coolest. The Day with the Cup cards, I think, are the most emotional connection that you'll have to a card. Like, your team wins the cup, and now there's a series of cards of your guys with the cup. There's nothing better than that. Those already exist. But they also have something super cool called Day with the Pup that has players with dogs, and they make certain UD canvas cards of players with dogs. So my answer would always be more pictures of players with dogs. So like, it's not that it hasn't been done. It already has. I'm not coming up with something super original there. Okay. But my answer would be more players with dogs because those are some of my favorite cards. Like, there's an OV canvas with a puppy that's so cute. You know,
I take Carolina a lot in your card breaks, and I know I got the Seth Jarvis puppy card in one of your breaks for sure.
Who's basically like a human puppy, so it's just even better.
Right.
Like two puppies in one card.
Yeah, so you're not wrong there. Then if you mentioned my group, my answer for my group is they want more shirtless player cards. In fact, they call them Young Buns. Okay, so like the official rookie card of the NHL is called Young Guns. That is the Upper Deck product. So they want the card ladies all the time say that they wish there were Young Buns cards.
Oh Jesus!
Why not?
With shirtless players and their Young Buns.
That
was
the ladies group.
Speaking on behalf of the ladies, I'm not taking responsibility for this. I'm totally saying puppies.
Also,
you've manifested it. You've put it out there.
More shirtless players and Young Buns.
That's funny. Well, you mentioned UD Canvas. So for our listeners who aren't familiar, Stacey and I both are obsessed with UD Canvas. They are they're not even that expensive. They're not the $20,000 cards. They're like accessible, attainable cards, but they are put on little canvas paper that looks like a miniature work of art. And it's not your standard like hockey pose or a guy skating. It's like these beautiful moments captured on a tiny hockey card that look like something you'd want to frame and put on your wall. So I love to collect those. And just like you, goalies. That's what I call goalies and UD Canvas.
I do love a good goalie card as well. And they've been doing more goalie series than ever the last 2 years, Upper Deck has. And I just absolutely love it. Like, every time I open a product and I see they've made a set about goalies, it makes me so happy. It's like definitely my favorite.
Nothing better. All right. Well, this was too much fun. If we went a little later, the ladies of the NHL would be hunting us down because they're ready for their there's a lot of overlap, but a lot of the women who participate in the Puck Gal card breaks are also members of Ladies of the NHL. So if you did a Venn diagram,
true, there would be a massive overlap.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Yes. So I sometimes mess up and use them interchangeably, but I think pretty much everybody who card breaks is a member of Ladies of the NHL,
Yeah.
but not everybody who's a lady of the NHL is a card breaker. Is that
Correct.
right? Is that
Yes,
fair?
and we hope to
Okay.
change that. Like we're trying to get more
Yeah.
ladies into the hobby and try to get them to understand a little bit more. It's so funny because every time somebody joins and they finally pull the trigger and join the group, the response is the same every single time, which is, "Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I wish I had known about this sooner." You know? So like if you feel like you're overwhelmed or you don't understand how it works, I promise we are the most teachable group you will ever find. The ladies in there and myself are going to help you understand it every step of the way. We're going to walk
Yeah.
you through every single thing down to what supplies you use to store and preserve your cards, how you display them, how you collect them, how you store them, just all of it. Like anything you might have a question about, I promise you there is an expert in our group that is probably not even me. It's usually somebody else who's been
Yeah.
collecting for decades longer than I have. And so we're very helpful and friendly, and it's a great community to learn all about hockey card collecting or investing or just any of it, flipping cards. There's just a lot that can be done in there besides just collecting your own cards of your own players and your own team. But like it's scalable. There's a level for everybody. You can do as little as you want or as much as you want. Like
Yep.
there's an offer there for everybody for sure. So hopefully you guys will check us out. Come join Puck Gal Card Breaks or Puck Gal Hockey Card Breaks family if you have a guy or a son or a grandson who would want to do cards with you. It's another good option. But yeah, we'd love to have anybody who wants to come join us.
Yes.
We
It's
highly
so
recommend.
so much fun. And there are women who participate every multiple times a week. And then Megan and I are like maybe once a month. We'll say, okay, it's card break night. But yeah, you can do as much or as little as you like. You can spend your birthday with Stacey like I got to.
That was fun.
It was so much fun. So we knew we had to dedicate an episode to this because it is such a huge and fun facet of the hockey world. I had someone ask me today, what are you going to do when with your hockey style podcast when the season's over? And I'm like, yeah, who starts a hockey podcast at the end of the hockey season? Only Megan and I. But there are so many. I think people don't even realize like how much there is to sink your teeth into around the sport of hockey and our shared passion for it. So
absolutely. Actually, I think you chose a perfect time because you started right before Stanley Cup playoffs. When's a better time than that? You're going to have the excitement of the playoffs to start you off.
Absolutely.
Yay. I think it was a perfect time.
Well, please come back. Well, anything else you wanted to add that we didn't cover either in this episode or the last episode?
I don't think so. Your questions were so thorough. I love this. I can't wait to watch your other episodes that are not me. I want to watch other guests. I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice talk, if we're being completely honest. I love to talk. Dawn will concur. I love to talk. Card Break group will also concur. But like hearing myself, I don't know why. I've never been a fan of that. But I do look forward to hearing other guests that you have on here and what they have to say because your guys' questions were fantastic.
Yay.
Props to Megan on that. She really came up with some juicy thinkers for us, but we didn't even get to half of them because you tell such good stories and there was so much to cover. So, anytime that you want to join us, you are always welcome. We will clear the schedule for you, Stacey, because there's honestly, we have like 20 more questions.
I will think of topics and I will bring them to your show. Let's do it.
I love it.
Maybe we can do a live podcast from next year's retreat.
Oh my gosh.
That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. Because you're coming next year. So that would definitely
hockey style on the road. So
I love it.
We'll see you in Detroit next season too.
Yes, you will. I can't wait for that schedule to come out in July so we can start planning it now.
Yes, let's do it. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you back. Thanks for having me on.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
You don't have Welcome to the third period of Hockey Style. Wow. Stacey is something else. I cannot believe everything she does on a daily basis around hockey.
I don't know how she does it. I mean, but how jealous am I that every day she gets to open cards and interact with everybody? Like it's so exciting to me. That's like a dream job scenario. So fun.
Yeah, your card collection is incredibly impressive. I can't imagine what Stacey's looks like.
Oh my gosh, I can't either because I feel like I'm very small time. So I'm sure she's got some incredible things.
I felt like showing her my Hank Lundqvist and Linus Ullmark cards. I'm like so proud of those, and she's probably like, "Oh, I've seen a
That's so
$25,000
cute.
Menard. Yeah,
Eh,
right.
oh,
No, but she's not like that at all. I
oh
think
no, not at all.
she really has an appreciation for everybody's passion for the cards that they love, even if it's like the UD
Definitely.
canvas that we talked
Yeah,
about that
that
aren't expensive. They're just
love that
beautiful.
point. Yeah, the canvases are incredible and those are a great way to get started. And you can, find those in just blaster boxes and they're
Yes.
amazing. They're so beautiful.
One thing we didn't talk about with Stacey, I mentioned the first time I saw hockey cards growing up, and they were just like, cardboard, whatever. I didn't really care. Well, my brother, Brennan,
Who?
loved those hockey cards. And so we mentioned this in episode 1, I believe, but my brother is Megan's boyfriend. So all very cyclical here. We're all connected in this crazy hockey family. But he would sort these hockey cards in every way you can imagine. I mean, the guy is a math brain finance guy, so it kind of makes sense in retrospect. But he would sort the cards by, player shots on goal, height, weight, like years in the NHL, any stat, any data point you can imagine. So I think when I heard someone like as cute and social as Megan in her adult life was into hockey cards, I thought, what? And also, God, she's perfect for my brother.
Because they're gorgeous. I
But they
mean,
are totally different.
yeah.
Totally
One
different
of
than
my
the days of.
favorites. Hmm?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, one of my favorites is like we were talking about as a black diamond. I do collect Shane Pinto and I've got one of his like double diamond relic, like nothing crazy expensive, but I love like the little diamonds in it. It feels very sparkly and pretty.
Like a piece of jewelry.
One of my favorites.
That said, we will like to leave our listeners with another style tip. And this one is perfect for when you get your card collection going and you want to display them. Megan, this was
Yeah.
all your idea, so you
This
must
is a
share
thing
it.
I did. Yeah, this is kind of a home decor tip. If you kind of have a space where you're showing off different hockey things, maybe things you're collecting, I really wanted to try and showcase some of my cards and maybe be able to change it out a little bit. So, my solution to that was to get a hockey stick. I think. Mine's just a random player stick from the wings that I had on hand. You can use any stick that you want, but just did like a simple mount on the wall and then just lined my cards that I wanted to display at that moment up so I can look at them and they're out and then I can change them out. And yeah, it's just a great way to have it be part of the collection and it feels kind of integrated because it is very hockey themed. And yeah, if you want to see what that looks like, please check it out on Instagram. We will post a photo so you can see what I have done to my wall. See if you would like to do it too. So yeah, a little
Yeah.
home decor tip today.
It would be adorable in a game room. If you are crazy like us and have rooms dedicated to hockey, certainly it would fit. But I also think that would be cute to do a couple staggered going up a stairwell.
Oh, you
Just a
definitely
few
could
hockey sticks with like, yeah,
for
you can have
sure.
some fun with it. Share your ideas with us, please. Also, we would love to hear your hockey style tips at Hockey Style Podcast on Instagram. So thank you
Perfect.
so much for joining us
Yes.
today. Another fantastic conversation with Stacey. We have to have her back again. I mean, that was just scratching the surface.
So much to talk about. I mean, yeah, and I really hope if you are finding yourself interested in the hockey cards, please check her out because it truly is a good time. I can't say enough good things about her card breaks. You're going to laugh, you're going to learn something, and you're going to see a lot of beautiful cards. Definitely, definitely well worth your time.
Yes. And we hope to see you back here at Hockey Style Podcast next week. Thanks.
See you later.